right, folks, welcome to the channel. Happy whatever it is today. Happy Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. I'm surviving this season of whatever we want to call it. I'm a non-holiday person who has to put up with the holidays. Anyway, okay. So hey, like and subscribe to the channel. Don't worry about my attitude. Just like and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to take a trip down Omnispheres lane today. Now, I've been using Spectrasonics software for many, many years. In fact, I have a great story about how when I first used this software, I was using it on a PC as Atmospheres. And I had another PC that had Giga Studio on it. And I had another PC that had Ableton on it. So I had all of these computers working together because at the time we just didn't have the processing power to use them all on one machine. But now I'm using it on one machine, as I have been for many years, and I love it. So the first thing you're going to hear isn't the Omnispheres patch. It's just going to be an Arturia Jupiter module that I like using with a little bit of automation mapped to the cutoff filter. And an ADSR kind of there. Now we're going to do a little bit of work. So let's get to it. Not on this, but on this. And then I'll bring in the Omnispheres stuff in a moment. We don't want to do punching in. I don't know why I did that, but here we go. One more time. Three, four. All right, so that is going to be patch number 1. Hopefully I recorded all of that. I did indeed. So that's going to be sort of the number one thing we're going to work with. And now we're going to play around with the Omnispheres side of the equation. So I have the Omnispheres in multi-timbral mode, which for those of you who have just purchased Omnispheres, I suggest that you check out multi-timbral mode. It's a great way of saving CPU resources, but also fully utilizing the routing structure within the software itself. And I'm going to play a patch. Here we go, that I put together. So of course, nothing is behaving the way I want it to behave. So I'm going to actually play these all together as just a giant multi because I didn't have my automation lanes set up correctly on the Arturia, so that's fine. So let's do some dramatic synth work, and I'll explain it in more detail in a moment. So here we go. So that is the piece. So using Omnispheres, the one thing you have to understand is it's very deep sampled. And it's richly sampled. It sounds great right out of the box. I've done almost no mixing to the Omnispheres patches. And so the Omnispheres patches, let's go through them. Let's go through Omnispheres first. So Omnispheres, as it is currently, I'm just using a bunch of stock patches that I've put together, but they're designed to be mixed within Omnispheres. And so this is important, you know, the fundamentals of mixing. You should take a look at the volume levels, and you should actually turn Omnispheres down a little bit because it's so richly sampled that it takes up a lot of space within a mix environment. But if we just play, for example, the Omnispheres patches, there's a lot of aftertouch on these particular patches. Go through one of them. Now, on instance 1, we have this just stock Omnispheres patch, and we can mix this in a variety of different ways. So if we go to the mixer window, for example, we can send it to some reverb. You can hear it. And the effects that we're using are on effects A. Let's see, where are they at here? So we have A, effects, multi, aux 1, right? So this is where things can get a little confusing. There we go. You can change this reverb, for example. You can choose a different reverb. Change the reverb time and size. You could also do this, which is something I really love using in Omnispheres, is I love using the arpeggiator. So if we go into the arpeggiator, for example, and we turn it on, it'll always pull up some kind of stock canned arpeggiation, but I always like to build my own. So I can build like an odd meter one here in 7. And then I can transpose one of the arpeggiations. And I can do multiple transpositions. And let's bring this to 8. And I can use the style of arpeggiation. And that can become a groove. So when you pull in the rest of the samples here, up some really interesting ideas. Now, when you combine these, and that becomes a whole musical concept right there, the phrase. 2, 3, 4. And again, I like improvising with these different structures, you know, trying to figure out ways to sort of inspire composition just by experimenting with music production. And again, A real simple way to develop a palette would be to then put a evolving string idea, again borrowing a little bit from the Spitfire universe, putting in something like fragile string evos, maybe in a more extreme or traditional mode. So we have this now. Let's add this in here. And then if you don't like your arpeggiation, you can always change it. Or you can do different things to it. So for example here. Kind of dramatic. So again, it's not a perfect outcome tonight, but it never starts that way, usually. But it should give you some ideas about how to use this software. So that is Omnispheres in a very kind of abbreviated nutshell. So have a great day, enjoy your life, and like and subscribe to the channel.